Now, Russia has accused the West of destabilising the G20 finance ministers meeting in India by trying to force through a joint statement on the Ukraine-Russia war. The Russian Foreign Ministry has issued a statement, and it says, and I'm quoting here, "We regret that the activities of the G20 continue to be destabilised by the Western collective and used in an anti-Russian way." The G20 finance meeting hosted by India ended without a joint communique. Finance chiefs of the world's largest economies strongly condemned Moscow for its war on Ukraine. Only China and Russia declined to sign a joint statement. India, chair of the group of 20 economies, was reluctant to raise the issue of the war. However, Western nations insisted they could not back any outcome that did not include a condemnation. The lack of full consensus among G20 members meant that India resorted to issuing a chair's summary, a precedent that was set during the previous summit in Bali, Indonesia. The chair's summary summed up the 2 days of talks and noted the disagreements. The statement comes after China this week published a plan to end the conflict. The 12-point plan by China called for peace talks, but it did not specifically say that Russia must withdraw its troops from Ukraine and did not condemn Russia's invasion. Russian President Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed some elements of the Chinese proposal, but said that the country where a war is being fought should be the initiator of a peace plan. US President Joe Biden said that he saw nothing in the Chinese plan that would be beneficial to anyone other than Russia. Meanwhile, Russia has halted supplies of oil to Poland via the Druzhba pipeline. The halt in supplies comes a day after Poland delivered its first Leopard tanks to Ukraine. Petroleum refinery company PKN Orlen has said that they are prepared and have effectively secured supplies. The company further said that only 10% of crude oil has been coming from Russia and that they will replace that with oil from other sources. Meanwhile, Ukraine has reported fierce fighting around the eastern city of Bakhmut. Russia's Wagner Group leader, Yevgeny Prigozhin, has said that his forces had captured a village just north of Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine. We were earlier joined by our correspondent Anas Malik from Mykolaiv in Ukraine. Listen in.
There has been some considerable statements that have been made that are a moment to rejoice with when it comes to the Ukrainian authorities and the administration and the government itself. For instance, the Croatian side has said that it would be supplying some helicopters. There is movement when it comes to the German tanks as well, the Leopard 2 tanks. So that gives them reinforced hope with regards to the provision of ammunition and arms that they have been asking for in order to prepare for a counter-offensive, a counter spring offensive rather, that is likely to begin sometime in the second week of April as soon as the snow melts. We've been hearing that overnight shelling did continue in Kherson Oblast, even in parts of Mykolaiv Oblast where I'm in the Mykolaiv city, but in the larger region of Mykolaiv we've heard that there was a fire as well, followed by a blast, or a blast that followed by a fire. That is what the Ukrainian emergency services said, but by and large this is what is the new normal. It looks like people have internalized the war. We've been speaking to people on background, and our reports have been going out. A lot of people have been saying that this is a reality and now they have to live with it. But one such comment that struck out, or that stood out, was the fact that one such person said that this past 1 year felt like 40 years of his life to him, for one very reason, because of the ongoing alarms, the air raid sirens, the fact that they had to rush back and forth between shelter and their home. Therefore, it has made life difficult for them. There is no official comment on that as we speak. We're expecting that sometime to happen later today or sometime tomorrow. But it would be seen as largely as in disappointment, for the one very reason that Ukraine has been pushing for its arms, for more arms, for more weapons. We had also heard from the Italian side that they are willing to provide somewhat 5 fighter jets, but the plan was abandoned when Giorgia Meloni visited, and she said that they're now considering to provide other weapons and ammunition and not fighter jets, for the very reason that they would not want to be the first one. So it would be seen as greater disappointment largely, but we're yet to hear an official reaction on that.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.